Hey guys, I'm RC Anna.
And I'm RC Grace.
And today we're going to talk about our 7 chapters philanthropies and our Panhellenic philanthropy, just so that you know what every chapter on our campus has to offer. But first, we're going to introduce ourselves. Grace, if you want to share a little bit about yourself and your recruitment experience.
So I joined the Panhellenic community in fall of 2023 through formal recruitment, and I am currently an upcoming junior at Coastal Carolina University, majoring in health communication with a double minor in public health as well as health informatics. And Anna, do you want to tell us a little bit about your recruitment experience?
So I also joined through formal recruitment, fall of 2023. I'm an upcoming senior this year. I am majoring in exercise and sports science. Just very much looking forward to serving as a recruitment counselor, as well as currently serving on the Panhellenic Executive Board as the Vice President of Philanthropy.
The first philanthropy that we'll be talking about today is the Ronald McDonald House Charities, which is Alpha Delta Pi's national philanthropy. The Ronald McDonald House provides housing and resources for families who have ill or injured children who are receiving care away from home. AD Pi's at Coastal Carolina University volunteer at the Ronald McDonald House as well as bring donations for whatever the house may need.
So where's the nearest Ronald McDonald House to Coastal's campus?
The nearest Ronald McDonald House is in Charleston, South Carolina, which isn't too far away from campus. So what are some things that AD Pi's on Coastal's campus do to support?
So, like many other chapters on our campus, AD Pi hosts events such as tabling, percentage night events at restaurants and local businesses, as well as they host a really fun event called the Diamond of the Season pageant, where participants from the university community compete in various activities to raise money for Ronald McDonald House Charities, which is super cool. Also, AD Pi hosts some fun tabling events throughout the semester. One of my favorites is the Pie a Pie, where on Prince Lawn you can pay a couple dollars to throw a pie in an AD Pi's face, which is always super funny. That's a little bit about Alpha Delta Pi's philanthropy. Now we're going to move on to the next one. So the next chapter we're going to talk about is going to be Sigma Kappa. Sigma Kappa is a little bit different from our other 6 chapters in the way that it offers 5 nationally recognized philanthropies. Most of our other chapters only have 1 nationally recognized philanthropies. Sigma Kappa is really cool in the fact that the 5 philanthropies stand for Sigma. The 5 philanthropies are the Sigma Kappa Foundation, Inherit the Earth, Gerontology, the Maine Seacoast Mission, and the Alzheimer's Association. And throughout the semester, Sigma Kappas host multiple events to raise money for these 5 philanthropies. They offer 2 big weeks throughout the school year, which is the Alls Week and UV Week, also known as Ultraviolet Week, which raise money for the Alzheimer's Association and the Sigma Kappa Foundation. Grace, can you tell us a little bit about the events that Sigma Kappa hosts?
So in the fall, they do the Alls Week, which throughout the week they do tabling events and different percentage nights at restaurants to support the Alzheimer's Association. And at the end of that week, they have their Alls Walk, which is in Myrtle Beach, and it's just a fun way to end the week supporting a good cause. And then in the spring semester, they have Ultraviolet Week, also known as UV Week, which they also do tabling events as well as percentage nights at restaurants and different things like that. They also have the Mr. P pageant, which is a really fun way to support another great cause as well. Our next philanthropy that we're going to talk about is the Kindly Hearts Initiative, which is Alpha Z Delta's national philanthropy. The Kindly Hearts Initiative support children and teens experiencing foster care and or homelessness. So Anna, do you want to talk about some of your favorite ways that AZDs support the Kindly Hearts Initiative?
So, my favorite event that AZD does to support Kindly Hearts Initiative is the Z-Man pageant, which is in the spring semester. It's a super fun event to go to with friends. It's their sweetheart pageant and it raises money for such a great cause, which makes it so much better. Phi Sigma Sigma is going to be the next chapter we talk about. Phi Sig's Philanthropy is the Phi Sigma Sigma Foundation, which partners with local schools, communities to build backpacks and host school supply drives. Grace, would you mind telling us a little bit about what Phi Sig does on our campus to raise for Phi Sigma Sigma Foundation?
Of course. So on Coastal's campus, Phi Sigs raise money by doing backpack building, which is basically they raise money for all of these school supplies, and after they get these school supplies, sisters from Phi Sigma will combine and kind of just pack these backpacks, and after they pack those backpacks, they go to the schools and they drop them off. And then another really fun thing that they do to support the Phi Sigma Sigma Foundation is they have reading buddy programs with local schools. So basically, sisters go to schools and they have like this kid that is in school and they will be their reading buddy. And then during formal recruitment is when they actually deliver the supply filled backpacks to nearby schools, which is super great and important.
Yeah, that's super awesome.
Our next philanthropy that we're going to talk about is the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is Chi Omega's national philanthropy partner. So the Make-A-Wish Foundation creates life-changing wishes for children with critical illnesses, and Make-A-Wish is a nonprofit organization, and chapters around the country raise money, and the money goes towards granting the wishes of sick children. So Anna, do you want to talk about your favorite event that Kayo supports for Make-A-Wish?
So my favorite event that Kayo does for Make-A-Wish is their 5K, which is called Waves of Wishes. It's a great way to spend time with friends while raising awareness and funds for just such a great cause. And then one of my other favorite things that Kayo does is their Wish Week event, which is where their local chapter holds percentage nights and like at different locations, they write cards for children in local hospitals. It's just a really great way to really bring awareness to Make-A-Wish, which I think is super cool. So Sigma 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 is our next chapter that we'll talk about. Sigma Sigma Sigma, like Sigma Kappa, has more than one nationally recognized philanthropies. So the two that Tri Sigma on Coastal Carolina's campus supports is March of Dimes, which is a nonprofit organization that works to improve the health of mothers and babies, as well as the Tri Sigma Foundation, which works through donations to award grants and scholarships to hospitals, clinics, and research programs in the local community. And they host events throughout the year to raise money for these and to spread awareness. Grace, would you mind telling me a little bit about your favorite thing that they do for their philanthropies?
Yeah, so actually just recently, Tri Sigma had a week of kindness, which I thought was very unique since no other chapter on our campus does anything like that. So basically they had like free drinks, free coffee, they had free candy. Like, they were giving away a bunch of stuff with little notes tied to everything that you got. And it would just have like a little inspirational message of some sort, like just being nice and kind of just something as like a little mood booster for if you were having a hard day, or even if you weren't, just something that was encouraging and trying to support people on Coastal Carolina's campus.
Yeah, I feel like that's such a great way to just uplift the community and just spread kindness around Coastal's campus. So that's super awesome that they do that.
Moving on, our next organization's philanthropy that we're going to talk about is Gamma Phi Beta's National Philanthropy. Their national philanthropy is Building Strong Girls, and Building Strong Girls, their mission statement is giving girls the confidence to dream big. And they do this by they provide experiences and resources that build spiritual, mental, and social resilience in middle school girls. Another thing that is unique about Gamma Phi Beta is besides having a national philanthropy, they also have a national partner, which is Girls on the Run. And Girls on the Run helps girls build social, emotional, and physical skills. So, Anna, what is your favorite event that Gamma Phi Beta hosts for their national philanthropy, Building Strong Girls?
So, Gamma has their signature philanthropic event, which is the Moon Ball, which is when they host either a kickball or a volleyball, or sometimes they do a basketball tournament each academic year, which raises funds for their philanthropic partner, Girls on the Run. And that's always super fun to go to with friends and just support such a great cause. So, last but not least is Circle of Sisterhood, which is our Panhellenic philanthropy. So, with it being our Panhellenic philanthropy, that essentially means that all 7 of our Panhellenic chapters works to support Circle of Sisterhood, which is super cool and kind of just ties us all together. So, what Circle of Sisterhood does is it's a foundation that leverages the collective influence of sorority women to raise financial resources for entities around the world that remove educational barriers for girls and women that are facing poverty and oppression, which is really cool. They do school builds, they provide school uniforms, school lunches, overall, just accessibility to education for young girls and women. So, Grace, would you mind talking a little bit about the 2 big events that Panhellenic does for Circle of Sisterhood?
Some of the big events that we do to support Circle of Sisterhood on Coastal's campus are we do a silent auction in the fall during family weekend, which is where members can bid, and whoever gets the highest bid wins these baskets that we get donated to us from different places around our local community. And when they're making these bids, they write it on a piece of paper, and whoever gets the highest bid and essentially wins, and they win the basket that was donated. And all the proceeds from that go towards Circle of Sisterhood as well. Then another event that we do is in the fall, we do a Brothers for Sisters pageant. And this is basically where we kind of partner with members of the Interfraternal Council, and one member from each fraternity participates in this Brothers for Sisters pageant, and they compete in fun challenges and different things like that. And whoever wins those challenges will win the pageant. And it's basically just a fun little competition, and it's a fun event to go to with all members of the Panhellenic community, since the proceeds towards that also go towards Circle of Sisterhood as well.
Yeah, personally, I'm definitely looking forward to putting on that event. as VP of Philanthropy in the fall. I think it's going to be super fun. Also, I wanted to talk about my experience. I had the opportunity to meet Jenny Carroll, which is the founder of Circle of Sisterhood, at SGLA this past February. That experience was super eye-opening. She talked a lot about her personal experience and why she came to create Circle of Sisterhood, and it really just shows the impact that Circle of Sisterhood makes throughout. Like, it's such a global impact, which really just makes you feel like you're making such a difference overall, which is just really cool. So that concludes all of the philanthropies that we're going to talk about. But I do want to say, I know that this may have sounded a little bit repetitive, but it is important to remember that philanthropy does tie all of our chapters together, and it is something that unites us, and it's all a value that we share. So it's just really important to remember how important philanthropy is.
And it is also something that, as in the Panhellenic community, we all support each other's chapters and just really show up for one another.
Yeah. So thank y'all so much for listening to our podcast today.
We can't wait to meet you in the fall.